Talk about this movie, this Books of Blood. I just realized it was Clive Barker's birthday today.
It is Clive Barker's birthday, day before the movie drops on Hulu. No, 2 days. Clive Barker's birthday's today. And, you know, in the mid-'80s, like 1986, 87, Clive Barker published 6 volumes of the Books of Blood all at once, kind of like the Beatles releasing all their albums on the same day. And for horror fans, it was mind-blowing and transgressive and imaginative, and in ways, you know, there are no vampires or werewolves in his stories. They're all original stuff. And ever since I stood in line to get Clive's autograph at the Change of Hobbit bookstore in Santa Monica for 2 hours, I was 8th in line.
Wow. I miss that store.
Oh, the best.
Yeah.
I remember meeting him vividly, and of course he does not remember me, but as fate would have it, you know, I always wanted to do an anthology show, and this was a great one to partner up on.
Yeah, talk about just how much you two partnered and what that was like for you as someone who's obviously, now that I hear what a fan you were, just the joy of actually working with him.
Well, imagine being a super fan of somebody since you were 20 years old, and a couple decades later, there you are sitting in a room with the guy, talking creative stuff, talking about what stories do we want to use from the books. Turns out Clive Barker had new Books of Blood ideas that hadn't been published. And of course, as a fan, I'm just lapping it up. And in fact, 2 of the stories in this movie are new Books of Blood stories that Clive came up with, and I went off and wrote. And it was a dream come true. It was, you know, I was paralyzed listening to Clive the first couple days, but then, you know, loosened up.
Talk about the excitement of joy of making it your own and turning it into your vision as well, and how proud you are of what you accomplished.
Well, I'm known, if I'm known at all, I'm known for my science fiction work, but horror has always been my first love, and it's why I got into filmmaking. When I saw John Carpenter's Halloween in 1978 in the audience, I saw how the audience was flipping out, probably how they did when people saw Psycho for the first time. And I'm like, I want to make movies like this. But, you know, I even at that young age, like 12, I recognized the quality of the filmmaking, and I wanted to make good horror movies. And I finally got around to it, and I just had the best source material ever.
Just the joy of having this now. People are home. They're ready for something like this. It's October. It seems to be perfect timing.
I think it is perfect timing for Books of Blood. And some of the movies that scared me the most were movies I was watching at home, usually alone. Movies that scared me so much I had to turn off the TV, including fairly recently. So I get scared too. And I love being scared. And watching this at home alone or with others is the perfect way to do it. Really, on Halloween, since is there trick-or-treating this year? I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. Talk about, I love the many faceted things that you do. And you tell me if it's 2 different worlds, if it's all the same brain, but to be able to do something like your great Cosmos work that's so science based, and then do something with so much fantasy. Talk about that dichotomy, if it is one for you.
Well, the difference between writing science fiction and horror is it's similar because they're both genre pieces and they both have to be very grounded to be believable. Then there's Cosmos, which is science, which is nothing like the other 2 because you can't make anything up. So it takes a lot longer. But, you know, Cosmos and Books of Blood seem like very different projects, and they are in a lot of ways, but both aim to hit you on a visceral level. Because for science to really sink in, it needs to move you. And to really understand what science is, it must move you. And that was our goal always, Andrew and I, with Cosmos. And in horror, in the case of Books of Blood, I want to scare you, but I also want to move you. And hopefully the movie is as emotional an experience as I'm hoping it, as I set out to make it.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.